स्वाध्याय टीवी डॉक्टर बाबा साहेब आंबेडकर ओपन यूनिवर्सिटी।
Namaste students, I Dr. Himanshu Patel welcome you from the Chaitanya studio of Dr. Baba Saheb Ambedkar Open University. We are in lecture series on mobile application development in Android. In today's session we will learn about messaging and email, but before that we first look at what we have learned in last session. In last session we have learned networking. In networking we see how application can use networking to enhance and improve the features they can provide to the user, how application developer need to design and implement networking features carefully to ensure a stable and responsive application, and we have also learned how to read data from web and perform asynchronous processing and know network status. In today's session we learn how to send SMS programmatically and how to send SMS using the built-in messaging application. We also see how to receive incoming SMS messaging using broadcast receiver and how to send email messages from your application. So, let us start. Android comes with a built-in SMS application that enables you to send and receive SMS messages. However, in some cases you might want to integrate SMS capabilities into your own Android application. Let us take one example. You might want to write an application that automatically send SMS messages at regular time interval, but it may involve cost. So, we can send SMS programmatically. So, there are two methods, one is using the SMS manager class and another using intent. In case of intent, we are actually calling inbuilt messaging application. So, in that case you did not write any permission, but whenever you use the SMS manager class you need one permission which is sent SMS, and you must include these permission in your manifest file as shown in the previous screen. So, remember you have to include these permission in case you are using SMS manager class. Now, how to use SMS manager class? So, first you have to get instance of SMS manager class by calling its get default method, and once you have these object available you can use its send text message method for sending SMS. So, send text message takes 5 argument. The first argument is of course phone number to which you want to send text message, and another argument which is second argument is a service sent address, and in most case we take it null for using default SMS message service center. The third argument is message which is the actual content of your message, and fourth and fifth arguments are sent intent and delivery intent. Now, sent intent is a pending intent which is invoked when message is sent. Suppose your message is not sent, then it also informs. If it is sent, it is also informed. Now, once you send the message, you must want to know whether it is delivered or not. So, for that we use delivery intent, and this is also pending intent which let you know whether your SMS is properly delivered or it is failed. So, fourth and fifth argument are intent which is of type pending intent, and it is used to verify whether your SMS is sent properly or received properly or not. When you use intent, you have to create instance of intent object, and in new intent as an argument we specify action which is action underscore view. Now, this is a generic action which can be used to send SMS, email, etc. So, here we use these action for sending SMS. So, you have to provide two information. First is a address which is a number to which you want to send SMS, and if there are multiple receiver, you can separate those numbers by semicolon as shown in the screen. And another parameter you have to provide is SMS underscore body, which specifies your message to be sent, and we set the type of data that we want to send as a MMS dash SMS, which is a standard MIME type for sending SMS, and then we can call start activity. So, it automatically start your built-in messaging application, and in number all these number with value address is displayed, and in message body these message is displayed, and when you press send button it will send that SMS to recipients. So, these two methods are used for sending SMS. Now, once you send SMS, you want to know status of sent SMS. So, as discussed earlier, to do so you can create two pending intent object to monitor the status of the SMS message sending process. One tell you whether SMS sent properly or not, another tell you whether it is a received or delivered or not. Then you have to register these pending intent with broadcast receiver in order to get these status. So, we will see how to do this in programming. These part discussed how to send SMS. Another part is how to receive SMS. So, you can receive SMS using broadcast receiver. To receive incoming SMS messages from within your application, you can use this broadcast receiver object. Like we are adding activity in our application, we can add receiver also. So, broadcast receiver object is required. When intent is received, the on receive method is called. Inside broadcast receiver class, there is a method called on receive, which is automatically called whenever you receive SMS. So, this is useful when you want to application to perform an action when a certain SMS message is received. For example, you can send particular code to your application, and based on these code it manipulate that code and send data back to you. So, entire these process is done in background. For example, you want to track your mobile phone which is stolen or lost. So, what you can do is you can write down one application which sends its location whenever particular code is sent to this application. So, you can send one code to your application from another phone, and it will get back to you the location of your phone. So, this is how this feature is useful. When you perform certain action based on incoming SMS, then you can use this programmatically. So, you can receive SMS using broadcast receiver. Now, what to write down inside on receive? So, SMS message is contained in intent object via bundle object, and technically SMS is in PDU format, that is packet data unit format, and you can extract each message using create from PDU method. How to do we will see in programming, but right now we remember that these on receive method as a bundle object which actually contains your message, and you can extract these messages using create from PDU method. And once this message is accepted or get by you, you can display it in toast, or you can do anything as mentioned earlier. Now, one thing you have to remember while writing application that involves either sending or receiving message, that user need to explicitly give permission to your application. The request for permission is only shown at install time. For example, I write down one application which involves sending SMS, but when I install these application, at that time only it will ask for permission to send SMS, but then it never asks me again. So, application may send SMS messages behind the screen without user knowing, resulting in huge phone bills for the user. So, if by mistaken user has accept these permission, then your application can send any message without his permission. So, it results in huge phone bill. So, you have to take care. Another is your application can also steal your data, as in previous example we discussed that based on your code application can send any data as a SMS. So, your application can steal data without user's permission. So, you have to take care while writing these application. We sometimes require to send email message. So, like SMS messaging, Android also supports email. The Gmail or email application on Android enables you to configure an email account using POP3 or IMAP. There is a app available for sending email, inbuilt app as well as Gmail app also. There may be Ymail also that you can use. Now, besides sending and receiving emails using the Gmail email application, you can also send email message programmatically from within your Android application. You need not to write down entire email application, but what you can do is you accept to CC etc. and email text body from user and directly call one of these application and send email through these inbuilt applications, but you can get data programmatically from your application. In practical, we write down an application to send SMS, to receive SMS and send email programmatically. So, let us start. So, here I write down one application already. Here is our Android manifest file. So, as discussed earlier, you have to give these permissions, send SMS and receive SMS in order to send and receive SMS. So, these two permission you have to specify. Now, first we look at our interface. So, here is our interface. So, here you can see we have one label which asks user to enter number separated by comma in edit text below it, and we have one text view which displays enter message, and here you can type your SMS message, and we have two methods for sending SMS. One is using intent and another using SMS manager class. And when you want to send email, you have to press this button and it will ask you to choose from available application which application you want to use for sending email, whether it is Gmail, email, Ymail or any other email applications. So, how to do this? For that we go to our activity file which is message activity.java file. Here you can see we have three buttons, SMS1, SMS2 and email for sending SMS and email, and we have two edit text, one for accepting SMS message body and another is accepting numbers. Here on screen you can see inside on create, first we set content view and then we take reference of these buttons SMS1, SMS2 and email, and here is a reference of two edit text with ID txt phone numbers and txt message for specifying phone number and message respectively, and whenever user press this SMS1 button we want to send SMS. So, these coding part we have already discussed in theory. So, you can understand how it works, but what we have changed is here instead of taking static number we take those numbers from edit text, and instead of sending fixed text message we take these message from these edit text message. So, the only difference is the numbers and SMS body is a now dynamic. So, you can understand how it works. So, this is how you can send SMS using intent object. Next is using this second button is used to send SMS using SMS manager class. So, first we take phone number from edit text and message from edit text in string phone number and message. Next we create two intents. Remember, these intent are used to get status of our SMS, whether it is sent and deliver or not respectively. So, how to create pending intent? So, sent PI is object of type pending intent, and you can create pending intent by calling its method get broadcast. So, pending intent is a class and get broadcast is its static method, which takes 4 argument. First is a context, another is a request code which is 0, next is a intent that specifies what to do, and last is a flag which is a 0 always. So, here we create two pending intent, and remember, to know the status of SMS sent we have intent SMS sent, and to know the status of delivered SMS we have intent SMS delivered. So, this is how you can create pending intent. Once these pending intent are created, you have to register, you have to call this register receiver method, which takes broadcast receiver and pending intent argument. First argument is a broadcast receiver and another argument is a intent filter, which should match with our intent specified in pending intent. So, here we are registering our pending intent. So, you have to implement broadcast receiver. So, if you see this much code is for specifying broadcast receiver. So, here we create instance of broadcast receiver and we implement its on receive method. If you follow mouse pointer, you will see this on receive method is implemented for broadcast receiver, and inside this get result code method you will get various results based on intent. So, here I write down activity dot result OK. It means SMS is sent properly. So, here in toast we specify that SMS is sent. Now, suppose there is some general error. So, this case is executed result underscore error underscore generic failure. So, this is known as a generic failure. Then suppose there is no service area, then it returns result code as a result underscore error underscore no service. So, we display no service. Then if message is blank, this code is generated result underscore error underscore null PDU. So, we display that PDU or packet data unit is null, and suppose you block your SMS services, then this result error radio off message is displayed. So, depending on result code executed by intent, you can specify whether SMS is sent or not. Similarly, we have to register these pending intent SMS delivered with broadcast receiver. So, in this case we have only two possibilities, result OK or result cancelled. So, if result is OK, then we can say SMS is delivered, and if result is cancelled, it means SMS is not delivered. So, this is how you have to create two pending intent and specify inside register receiver. The first argument is broadcast receiver and second argument is your intent filter, which specify your intent action. Now, once these pending intent are ready, you can write down these two lines, which creates instance of SMS manager class and call send text message, and first is a phone number, which is a phone number specified in your edit text. service center is null, message is comes from message edit text, and these two sent PI and delivered PI is a pending intent registered with broadcast receiver, so that you come to know whether your SMS is sent or not and delivered or not. So, this is a SMS part. Next is how to send email. So, on click listener of email button, we write down this code. Now, this first argument specifies two part, which is a address for sending email. So, who will receive email is specified as a string array separated by comma, and CC is a carbon copy. If you want to send your email to somebody else with carbon copy, then you can specify its address in CC. Now, here we create one intent which specify action send, and if you are using action sent and if you set data with argument URI.parse mail to, then it understand that we want to send email. So, these two lines specifies that our intent wants to send email message. Next, we have to specify this extra email, which is a string which specifies whom to send email. These extra.cc specifies to whom carbon copy is sent, and in subject you have to specify subject line of your email, and in text you have to specify your message body. What message you want to convey is specified inside extra text. So, you have to create one intent, you have to set data, and then you have to specify necessary information as discussed, and then finally, you set type to message / RFC 822, which is a standard MIME for sending email. In case of SMS or MMS, these MIME is different, but in case of email you have to specify these MIME type, and finally, we start activity. Now, remember, in our phone there may be email, Gmail, Ymail, etc. applications are installed. So, here we call intents create chooser method, and first is a argument which specifies intent, and another is a title for our chooser. So, here it will ask whatever number of applications are available is shown to user, and user can decide whether he want to send email using which application. So, these method actually execute intent and ask user to choose from available option for sending email. This is how we can send SMS. Now, we want to receive SMS also. So, for that we have to create one class which extends our broadcast receiver class. So, here you can add receiver by selecting new, and inside other we have broadcast receiver. So, this is how you can add broadcast receiver. Now, when you click this, it will ask you for name of broadcast receiver. So, here you have to specify the name and then you have to press enter. So, it will add one class which extends broadcast receiver, and it write down two methods for us. One is a constructor and another is a on receive method. So, here I write down one class already for demonstration. So, here I write down SMS receiver which extends broadcast receiver. Now, remember, whenever you add these receiver, it is automatically registered inside Android manifest file. So, here you can see both the receiver are automatically included in your manifest file. So, you need not to write down this code. You can see both the receivers are automatically registered. So, inside on receive we get intent, and inside intent we have bundle object. So, here I write down bundle object which takes bundle from intent dot get extra, and here is a array of SMS messages that we want to extract from this bundle, and here is a one string that we will use to display message in toast. So, if bundle is not equal to null, then and then you have to extract message. So, here I create array of PDUs and we call method bundle dot get and argument is a PDUs. So, from intent we get bundle, from bundle we get PDUs, and from PDUs we get message. So, here we create message array with number of PDUs available. So, one PDU represent one message. So, I created array instance with new SMS message and length is number of PDUs, and here we loop down to extract one by one message. So, here I write down 0 to message dot length less than message dot length, we have to iterate. In message I, we call method create from PDU and first PDU is converted into SMS message. Once you extract SMS message from PDU, you can call its method like get originating address, which specifies the who has sent this message or sender phone number, then message body which specifies message text. So, inside str we write down SMS from, then sender phone number, then colon and then text that is sent by sender, and every message is separated by new line. So, multiple messages if received, you can separate them by new line, and once this loop is finished, we can display message received in a toast as usual. So, this is how you can write down receiver. When you install this application on your phone, it can send SMS programmatically as well as it displays whatever SMS received from user in toast. So, here I am pressing run message activity by clicking on this button. Here I am entering mobile number, and here I am entering my message, and then I am pressing send SMS using intent button. So, it will open my SMS application and I have to press this button. On screen you can see previous threads. So, I am just pressing send button and that message will be sent. So, my message is sent. Now, I am sent this message using SMS manager. So, I am just pressing below button and you can see on screen message is display SMS sent. Now, next we want to send email. So, I am just pressing send email button. Now, as you can see on the screen, it will asking me whether I want to send email using email, Gmail, Drive or send by LAN. So, there are 4 applications that can be used to send email is there. So, I am just selecting Gmail applications. So, here on screen you can see to CC SMS email message and my text is appeared, which is given programmatically, and I have to just press send button and that message is automatically sent. So, it displays sending message. Now I have to check my email address. So I am opening my Gmail account. So here you can see, because this message is sent from my email ID only, it shows from as a me and subject line as a test mail and text is a hello dear friend. So here you can see it is a hello dear friend. So friends, today we have learned how to send SMS programmatically, how to receive SMS programmatically, and how to send email using inbuilt application installed on your phone. And we have tested our application on real phone, so that you have better idea. I hope you enjoyed this session. Thank you and happy learning.
स्वाध्याय टीवी